Hey DIYers, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you a little tool that might just save your butt on your next plumbing job. What is this tool? It's called a pipe reamer. Now this isn't a new tool, but it is new to me, and I discovered it while I was working on a plumbing job myself. So what did I need this for? Well, I was working on my in-ground sprinkler system. I needed to add a new valve to the system. And it wasn't an option to just cut out the old and plumb it all brand new, because that would mean I'd have to get 2 new valves. Didn't want to do that. What I needed to do was take off fittings so I could plug back in this new valve and get it all to work. Now I tried a couple different ways that I saw on Instagram and YouTube. That is, I took my multi-tool, I cut the fittings, I got a heat gun, I heated it up and tried to peel the fittings off. Didn't work so well. One of the problems was some of the plumbing they used was very thin-walled PVC. Don't know why they used it, but it distorted it, wasn't round anymore, wasn't gonna work. I remembered I'd seen a couple Instagrams where they'd use a tool to kind of ream out the pipe and put new in, and I thought, let me go look that up. Now there's this pipe reaming tool here that's good for schedule 40, CPVC, and ABS. And I wound up getting a 6-piece set. It goes from 3/4 to 4-inch. Now you can buy these individually. I needed 1 inch, and I couldn't find any individual 1 inches. It was 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 1.25 inch. So I bought the whole set because I thought, what the hey, may need them. Now there's another tool you might be familiar with. It's called a Jones-Stevens. It's actually called a socket saver. Why, I don't know. I don't use it on a socket, but anyhow, I didn't like it. I'd seen a couple videos on it, and I didn't like it because it really left the inside of your pipe very rough. I wanted something to leave it semi-smooth, and that's when I came across these pipe reamers here. So what do you might want to use this for? Well, say you're plumbing in some new PVC, or you got some that broke, and you can't really just plumb all of it over again. Maybe it's stuck in the concrete or deep in the dirt, deep in a wall. You can't do that. Well, instead of trying to heat it up and take it out, this little pipe reaming tool is going to do the job for you. And I'm going to demonstrate that on several different sizes here. And this isn't a sponsored video. I bought these all on my own. And I'll leave a link down below in case you want to pick up a set. So what I've got here is I got 2 T-fittings and an elbow. This here is a 3/4 to 1 inch. This is an 1.5 inch to 2. And this is a 3 to 4 inch. Which will get me to use all these bits. So this 6-piece set comes with a 3/4, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2, 3, and 4 inch. Comes with 2 Allen wrenches. Nice thing about this is it's got a cutting head that's got 4 sides. Comes with an Allen wrench to loosen it. I can rotate it, and I got 4 cutting edges until I need to replace it. The other Allen wrench is to loosen this set screw up here to adjust the length on this tubing here that fits in your drill. It's this little lip right here that fits inside your PVC, and that blade that as you turn it, cuts away the old pipe. Now be sure and stick around, because when I demonstrate how to use this at the end, we're going to try and do a pressure test to see if it leaks when you reuse it after you've cut it out. So like I said, you basically get the size that you need, fits into your pipe, and you hook it up to your drill. Now I went through and cut all these pipes and fit them in here just as you're supposed to. Took the sandpaper and I sanded out the inside of the fitting, sanded the outside of the pipe itself. I used my primer and glue, pushed it in, 1/4 turn, held, and let it set. Now I let these set overnight. It's been, probably about 18 hours, so they're good and set up. So what do you need to do? Well, this is kind of long, so we're going to cut this down to the fitting, and the same here. Now it says you can use this with a cordless or a 1/2 inch drill, and we may have to do that with this big sucker here. So let me get my multi-tool, and we'll cut these off, and we'll get to work on this. All right, I got a couple different drills here. I got an impact driver and a regular cordless drill. Chuck up the bit. And so we're going to do the 3/4 first. This 3/4 bit is very tight in there, and you want it tight. Where this didn't work for me on the plumbing job I used is when they used a thin-walled pipe. Because it's thin-walled, this slopped around in there too much, and it cut more than just the pipe. It actually cut some of the plastic to my valve, and when I went to put it all back together, it leaked. So I had to buy a new valve. Thick walled is what you're going to need. If you got to do it on a thin wall, just be careful that it doesn't get off too bad. So the only bit out of this set I've used is this 1 inch bit, because that's all I needed so far. So we're going to try these other 5 bits out together, and this could go either really, really well, or it could go really, really bad. But we'll find out soon enough. Put your fitting in there. Like I say, it's tight on this 3/4, and I'm okay with that. This is 3/4. Why is it drilling more than it's supposed to? So let's do this 1 inch. And I'm gonna tell you, the 3/4 and the 1 inch are very tight fitting, whereas the others aren't so tight. And so we're just gonna put this in. How far do you drill in? Well, you'll have to measure the fitting, but it's typically about 1 inch. At least on these. And it's cutting pretty easy. I'm having to put a little force on it because it's so tight fitting in that pipe there that I've got to keep it pushed in, but it's cutting pretty easily. Now there may be some fine little bitty thin pieces left behind, but what I've done is just taken my Olfa knife and trimmed it out. There's a thin little sliver of it right there, but you can see it cut pretty much all the glue out. To try and sand that out, it's gonna take forever. Ask me how I know. Now it does kind of make a mess of everything, but kind of the price you pay. I think I drilled a little too far, but that'll be okay. But here's a 1-inch pipe. Fits in there, it's tight. Just like this side. For some reason, this 3/4, this diameter is a little too big for this pipe, and it winds up drilling all of that out. So either A, I got a bad bit, or they just built it wrong. I'll have to try and reach out to them and see. I'll do this 1.5 inch one next. As you see, it fits in there, and the cutting head should just be cutting the outside of that inner pipe. Does take 2 hands on these bigger ones. Keep from snapping your wrist off. It's cutting really nicely. There, as you see, to me that one cut, yeah, it's got a lot more of the primer left on there, but it cut a much better hole out. But it does a much better job, to me, cutting this out than that Jones Stevenson tool that I've seen demonstrated. And here's a piece of 1.5 inch pipe. And you see it's tight in there, and it's not all the way down. It does just what it's supposed to. All right, let's see how easy it is to do these others. Now, unfortunately for these bigger bits, you gotta have a 1/2 inch drill chuck because it won't fit in those others. We're gonna do this one over the trash can, try and eliminate some of the mess. This goes much faster. Definitely need 2 hands when you get to these bigger ones. And the other thing, you gotta make sure you're going straight, because if not, you'll go right out the side of the piece. Because the way I was doing it, I was getting a little off center. Man, it's got a lot of torque. Holding on to this thing's the hardest part. When you got it in this 1/2 inch drill, you gotta have a good grip. It's gotta be clamped down well or held well. Now naturally, if you're doing this in a plumbing situation, it's probably tied in and it's well attached, or if it's in the ground. But this has got quite a bit of torque, so you just got to go easy. And it does drill really quick. Yeah, I went just a little bit too far. But that one did a pretty good job of cleaning it out. Piece of 2-inch pipe in the non-glued fitting. The same pipe in the one we drilled out. It's tight. It's a little looser as far as twisting than the other side, but it's pretty tight. Now for this 3 and 4, let me rig something up that can hold this really tight. As you see, this can get quite squirrely quite quick. All right, we'll see how well this setup works. I left these long because I just wanted you to see how it cuts with it's not cut all the way down. And let me tell you, this has got some weight to it, and you definitely got to have 2 hands. I'd say the hardest thing is to make sure you're straight, level, and square with the pipe. And this bit gets hot, be careful. That's all of it. It does a pretty good job. It leaves it pretty smooth. The hardest thing is keeping a hold of that. All right, now for this monstrous 4-inch. Is again, staying straight and parallel. If you get off a little bit, it makes the hole wobble out a little bit. So when I put a 3-inch pipe in there, it's a little bit loose. So it'd make me wonder if it's gonna seal properly, but we'll see. These big pipes are tough. I'll get this drilled out and we'll come back and let you see it before I clean it up. So I didn't get it all drilled out with this because my drill got really, really hot. It was hard to hold on to. It actually kind of started to have a little burning smell. So I stopped, and this bit was very hot. So if anybody out there watching happens to be a plumber, or anybody who actually has used these kind of bits and used a 4-inch, if you got any tips or tricks on how to use it where it's not so dangerous and it does the job a little quicker, please let us know in the comments. I've got about half of this cut out, and I thought, you know what, let me try something. Why don't I take my little multi-tool and try and cut a little piece of this out, and then use a screwdriver and see if we can just pop the rest of this thing out. I think it's worth a try. Let's see. Goal's going to be to cut just this pipe and not tear into the one that I'm refitting. That was fairly easy. I'm just taking a small flathead screwdriver, and I want to get between the 2 fittings. That popped out easy enough. Let's see if we can get the rest of this to pop out. That seems to be working pretty easy, and it's not even screwing up my screwdriver. Now I'm trying to stay really flat to the piping here so I don't screw it up. Well, that come out pretty good actually. Just left all the primer and glue in there, but we can get that out. Guess that could be an alternate way if you get tired of using that or don't want to use it or this doesn't work as well or you had the troubles I do. So I'll get this one busted out of here, clean this up, and I'll show you another test we're going to do with these pipe reaming bits. Got it all out. There's still quite a bit of that gluey stuff in there. So I took my Olfa knife with a nice sharp new blade in it and just went in there and trimmed that out. Then I took my sandpaper and went around this whole thing and sanded it up real nice. That little bit there is not going to matter because the pipe's going to dead end right into that. And then the 4-inch pipe fits in there. It's pretty snug. It's got a little bit of play. What are we going to do next? Well, I'm going to glue pipe back in each side of this. I'm going to come back and ream it out with the drill bits. And I'm going to glue a new pipe in there, which will say you put it all together and you screwed it up somehow and you got to ream it again. Well, let's see if it's going to work if you ream it twice. And we're going to glue all of these fittings together into one long continuous pipe. And I've got a threaded end on here. I'm gonna put in there, hooked to my hose, and we're gonna turn on the hose, see if this thing's watertight. Now like this fitting here, it didn't have a pipe in it. I'm gonna leave it that way. It's gonna be kind of a control. Does this leak, but this doesn't leak, or the other way around. So I'll get this all glued back up, and I let these sit for about 2 hours before I reamed them, because it says let it set for 2 hours before you do any kind of pressure testing, so I figured 2 hours was good before I reamed it out. All right, so I drilled this fitting out, and I let that fitting set for a good 12, maybe 14 hours before I drilled it out. And then I've let this sit glued up for about 6 hours, so it's good and cured. So we're gonna pressure test this with water, but before we do that, I wanna kind of go over the goods and the bads and what I liked and didn't like about these bits, because I don't want the pressure test to kind of give me a bias on them. I want to kind of give you what my thoughts are now. My thoughts may change with the pressure test. May not. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, all these other fittings here, except for this one right here, have all set at least, well, almost 24 hours. I probably cheated just a little bit because I am worried about this 3-inch fitting right here because it was pretty loose when I put in there. So I glued it in, then I took glue and I just globbed it down inside that groove to hopefully seal it up. And I kind of did the same thing on this one because I wound up putting it in a little crooked, as you can see. But the rest of these are on there pretty good. So let's talk about what I did like about these bits. Well, one, I like that they're very well made. It's aluminum, but it's very well made. It's all one-piece construction here, except for the bit and the shaft. I like the fact that the Allen wrenches came in the case that you need to loosen up the bit here and swap it around. Also, the Allen wrench for the shaft, you can loosen it and adjust it. I like that. I thought they did a fairly good job of cleaning out the pipes in a fairly smooth fashion, and you didn't have a whole lot of cleanup afterwards to get them ready to re-glue. I like the fact that these blades can be switched over 4 times, and if you're really good, you can probably resharpen these yourself. I haven't looked into it, but I bet you can buy replacement bits for these. I like the case that it come in because this is a nice hard foam that's cut out for the bits to fit in. It's a nice hard case for it to carry with. That was nice. Price point I thought was fairly good. It was about $238, so 240 bucks, about $40 a bit. I guarantee you buy this 4-inch by itself, it's going to cost more than $40. I like the fact that the 2 smaller ones, the 3/4 and the 1-inch, can be used with your 3/8-inch drive drill, and I definitely see why the bigger ones need the 1/2-inch. Now let's talk about what I didn't like. I didn't like that this 3/4 doesn't work. Again, I don't know if this was a bad bit, an oversight, or if this is the way it's supposed to be, but I don't like that this doesn't work because it drills out the outer pipe that you're trying not to drill. In which case, if this is the normal bit that it's supposed to be, it's of 0 use. I didn't really care for this 4-inch. This 4-inch seems a little dangerous to me. I mean, in that 1/2-inch drill, and you're spinning it, you can tell you got some weight on the end of that. It takes a lot of torque to turn this also. As I mentioned earlier, if there's any plumbers out there watching this or somebody that's had experience using these quite a bit, you got any tips or tricks for these big ones like this, please let us know, because I'd like to know, is there a better trick to using this? The other thing I didn't like, and there's probably not much you can do, it's a learning curve, but you've got to be pretty dead on, straight and plumb with the pipe when you're drilling. If you're off a little bit, it screws it up, makes it too loose, and it doesn't work. And I'm sure the more of these you do, the better at it you get. I mean, the fact that I've used this 1-inch about 4 times now, I do feel I've gotten better at being straight. So now let's talk about this pressure test. Now I have my worries about the 3-inch, and that's why there's all this glue around here. I think the 4-inch is going to be okay. It seemed fairly tight when I put it on there and put it together. Primer on these signifies that we did these joints twice. I think this 2-inch is going to be okay. I think the 1.5 is going to be okay. I have a little worries about this 1-inch because one, I got it in crooked and it seemed just a little bit looser than it would if you used 2 brand new fittings and put together. But I can tell you, regardless of how this comes out, it worked on my sprinkler system. It doesn't leak at all. The sprinklers worked. It did did well. So we're going to do this on the ground, because if this is going to blow up and make a huge mess, I'd sooner it doesn't that on the ground than up here all over my tools. I hope this works well. And what I mean is the threads on the hose are a little coarser thread or fatter thread than what the threads are inside this fitting. And so to get around that, these are plastic threads on this hose. I put this adapter on here that's got metal threads, and I'm hoping I can just drive it in there and screw it in there and almost make new threads and get it in there tight enough it doesn't leak. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to get this all filled up with water, as much filled up with water as we can. Okay, let's try and get this twisted on here so it don't leak. Okay, that feels pretty tight. My water pressure at the hose valve is about 56 psi. How do I know? Well, I have a water gauge I put on there to find out. So we're not getting anywhere close to that 180 they said, but it's enough. If there's a leak, it'll show up. All right, I got it shut off. Let me turn the water on and cross our fingers. Here we go. There's no leaks nowhere except for where it fits there. All my other fittings, no leaks. So globbing the glue in worked. My overall impression of these bits stands. I highly recommend them. Definitely going to use them again. I'd recommend them to you if you have this issue. See, we got just that little leak right there. Nothing there, nothing out of that, none of these. Well, this one shouldn't leak anyway because that was a first time use, never got drilled out. And no leaks around here, the 4-inch. Same with the cap. It was never drilled out, so it shouldn't leak at all. Oh, I lied. We got an itty bitty leak right there. See that new water coming out. One little spot. And that one was a double drill out. And honestly, I wonder if I glob a bunch of glue in there and let it set up for a few hours, if it would stop it. This has been running and pressurized for a good 5 minutes. And again, the only seepage leak is right there on that one. Let me shut the water off, try to release this pressure, because I have a feeling I'm going to get soaked when I do that. There's a lot of pressure in there. If you made it all the way through the video to the pressure test, one, I want to thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And two, I'd like to know what your thoughts are in the comments. Something you might want to get? Think I faked it? Think it's a hoax? Let me know. I can tell you I didn't fake it. I told you the only thing I kind of fudged on was how I globbed the glue in there. I think a plumber would have done that too. So if you like this tool review, want to see some other tool reviews I've done, just click on this playlist right here. It'll take you to those videos. And until next time, happy DIYing.